All right, folks, I got something here that is really different. This is a unique in the world vehicle and very strange that I have it, but it's a good one. All right, this is a 2002 F-150 four-wheel drive Supercrew. And when we get outside and take a look at it, you'll understand what I mean. A couple reasons why this is unusual. First of all, the first year they made this truck was in 2001, and I remember that very well because I was selling them, well, I was actually running a Ford dealership at the time, and I remember when it came out, it was a big deal. This is the next year, so at least they had a year to work the kinks out. Another reason it's a little unusual is it's going to be a great deal because look, it's got 212,952 miles, but I can assure you, by looking at this truck, driving it, you'd think it had 100,000 miles on it. I did do something I'm not supposed to do, and I put way too much money in this truck. But I wanted it right. I did a bunch of front end work. I put a new catalytic converter on it. I did all kinds of stuff, but that's neither here nor there for now. We'll talk about that later. Let's go with the truck. Okay, first of all, it's 4 full doors. That means it's got 4 windows. There's the right rear window down. Oops, up. And here's your right front passenger window down and up. We'll swing on around and we'll go to this side and left rear. And of course the all-important driver's window down and up. I've actually put quite a few miles on this vehicle. Let's see if I can pull it up. Yeah, 457 miles personally I have put on this vehicle because it just runs so darn good. There's your left mirror. Let's go over to this side. And there's your right mirror, down, up. Yep, that all works. Driver information center, well, basically it's like compass and temperature. I think that temperature is off a little bit. Well, it is like 40 degrees out, but this was sitting out in the hot sun. Right now I'm under my canopy because it's a little easier to do the videos in because it doesn't cast shadows. You'll get a chance to look at it out in the sun now. Okay, there's your four-wheel drive. As you can see, it's either 2 high, 4 high on the fly, or 4 low. Cruise control, which I guarantee does work because I've used it a lot. And look at this, it's got some neat stuff like the power pedals, which I always like that. It's just, and as far as I know, everything on the vehicle works, except the radio. I haven't tried that. And as luck would have it, one of my favorite bands, AC/DC, on the radio. So there you go, all that works. As you can see, the temperature is pretty much at 0 because I just did a cold start on it. And that'll become important as we get a little further in this video. You'll understand what I mean. But I'm going to have to, I forgot my little gizmo for checking the tire depth, tread depth. So I'm going to take a little break and then we'll get back to this. All right, folks, here we go. So here is, believe it or not, this is the left front door. And you can see here's your driver's seat. The bolsters, very good shape. No obvious rips, tears. I'm telling you, this truck was incredibly well taken care of. Does have tilt wheel delay wipers. Here, check out the floor. Look at that. There's a nice carpeted floor mat, and that obviously is the Ford floor mat because it's got the little hooks right there. Let's see what's underneath here. All right, well, maybe not so easy. Here, we'll flip it up. Sorry about that. All right, as you can see, fantastic shape. So this is one heck of a vehicle, and I promise you would never know. And besides, the Kelley Blue Book, even with this mileage, is almost 10 grand. It's a ridiculously expensive vehicle, but buying from me, as you know, you'll get yourself a heck of a deal. All right, let's do the tires. It looks like it's got a set of matching tires on it, which I always think is good. And I have my handy dandy little tire gauge here, which we're gonna check and see how much tread's on here. And let's see what we got. We've got, looks like 8/32 on the left front. Come back to the rear. And let's check that one out. And that looks like, where is that? It's millimeters. We don't want that. We want 30 seconds. Looks like about 6/32. Yeah, 6/32 on the left rear. Let's go over to the right rear. All right, and this has, again with the millimeters, about 7/32. And right front, let's see what we got here. And that's about 7/32 too. So just so you know, new tires have between 11 to 13/32 when they're brand new. So these tires are still have more than half of their life left. And as you can see, they're matching and they have the nice Ford factory alloy aluminum wheels. The body on this thing You know, Fords are typically rust buckets. I mean, if you know anything about Fords, you'll agree with me. This one, however, has a couple little issues, but nowhere near what you would expect. So, right front fender. The only thing I can say about that is the painted pinstripe is on there is a little worn off. Other than that, no nicks, no dents, and only one little like rub mark right there. This is your right front door. We'll open that up and we'll take a look, and it looks like no nicks, no dings, no dents, no scratches. Okay, here is the passenger side, right front, and again, fantastic shape. I mean, this seat here hardly looks like it's been sat in, and I'm sure the back is the same. And as you can see, beautiful. Dash is in nice shape. Got a couple holes there. Somebody probably screwed something stupid in there, of course. And there's your headliner. Full headliner. So as you can see, very nice truck. All right, let's do the door jamb, or door, yes, the jamb. And as you can see, typical with Fords, right there, and a little bit there, just the tiniest little bit of corrosion starting. So if you buy this, you might want to get on that right away to stop it. And here is, of course, the door jamb itself. Now, interestingly enough, down here is usually where, if there's going to be a rust issue, this is usually where it starts. But as you can see on this, it's very clean under there. I'm actually surprised by that. All right, as I said, this is a full four-door truck. So here is the right rear door. And again, it looks like no dings, no nicks, no scratches, no dents. All right, here's your back. And you can see, yep, just as I figured. This looks like this is actually a 5 or a 6 passenger vehicle too. I mean, you can put like 5 adults in this truck, believe it or not, relatively comfortable. All right, here is your door jamb. And again, interestingly enough, in the cab corner, no rust at all. That really surprises me. All right, let's do the door frame. And just, yeah, maybe tiny little bit starting right there. Other than that, like I said, it's amazingly clean. All right, here is the truck bed itself. And again, doesn't look like any nicks, excuse me, scratches, dents, that sort of thing. But just so you know, what they did is they shortened the bed up, okay, on this truck to fit the full 4 doors. So this is probably only like a 6-foot bed. But most people, actually, a lot of people I should say, not most people, really want the 4 doors. This does have an aftermarket tonneau cover. As you can see, it's in pretty good shape. And what I love about this tonneau cover, it's not like one of those stupid ones where the snaps are on it. The ones with the snaps are horrible. This one, I've already worked it. See, you pull that little lever, and the thing just rolls up with Velcro. It's amazing. Works great. No bed liner, and this I found out, of course, unfortunately, after I bought the truck. While it is in pretty good shape, if you look right here, yeah, unfortunately, yes, that is a hole. Probably, I don't know, maybe 2.5 inches across or whatever. Again, not a big deal, but you know, you can arrest it. I would just recommend putting in a bed liner and calling it a day, quite frankly. That's up to you. All right, on the rear, we got a little ding there. Looks like a couple of scratches, nothing major. The rear bumper's in excellent condition, actually. It does have a Class 3 weight distributing hitch platform, as you can see right there, with the electric hooked up. Actually, it's got both. It's got the dual. It's got, I guess, the 7-pin and whatever the other one is, whatever the hell you call it. All right, here's underneath, so you guys can get a good look. Here's your spare tire. Yep, there you go. Bing, done. Okay. This thing just runs so good. Well, it should after all the money I put in it. As you can see, here's the other side of the bed. Excellent, very, very nice shape. No rust, no rot, as you can see. Nice running boards. I believe those are factory as well. All right, this is your left rear door. Deep tinted glass this has, of course. And as you can see, it's in very, very good condition. No nicks, dings, scratches. All right, and here is the back passenger seat from this side. There's a little headliner there. All right, let's do your door jamb. Alright, and just a tiny little spot right there. Again, very, very, very minor for a 12-year-old Ford F-150. I'm really impressed by this truck, actually. I've never had one of these Supercrews before. And of course, typical right there, a little bit starting. Again, not a basket case at all. This is something you could probably bring to 300,000 to 400,000 miles, no problem. And enjoy it while you have it, too. So this is going to be one heck of a deal. for whoever ends up with it. Here's the driver's door jamb. All right, and then again, just like on the other side right there, to along there, you see a little bit, but not, again, not a train wreck. I've had much worse. And this door, surprisingly, is also rust and corrosion free. And just a tiny, I see one little ding on there, nothing major. Left front fender, yep, looks great. Now we're out in the sun. So I can only fit so much of this in the shade, but this shouldn't be too bad. As you can see, very nice front. The bumper looks pretty nice. We have one little spot right there. That's about it. So take a little look underneath here. There we go. Like I said, I don't know, I have to look up the records, but I did put some front end work into this. I know I put a catalytic converter on it because that cost me a god-awful amount of money. So I have done some work, and even look at this. This amazes me. See that piston there? And the one on this side, it actually holds the hood up. Now, here's the great part of this truck. They had two engine options back then. You get a 4.6 liter or the 5.4. I personally like the 5.4 liter. The gas mileage isn't that much difference, but it's one heck of a stronger, better motor, in my opinion only. And since it looks pretty complicated in there, I'm not sticking my hand there to rev the engine up. I will shut up for a minute and let you guys listen. Yeah, I actually figured out a way to do it without hurting myself. Now, what was cool about that, as you heard, there was no high rev knock. This is a tight, solid motor on this truck. It is really a great runner. All right, so you can hear no valve train noise, none of that annoying crap. All right, close that up. Now, of course, with the mileage on this, it does have probably a couple hundred little tiny little stone chips. If you're really anal retentive, you can spend a whole lot of time touching them up, but honestly, I wouldn't do it, but that's up to you. Has the front tow hooks, as you can see. Very nice. This is just a fantastic truck, and get this. If you happen to live in the state of New Jersey, you have until October of this year before you got to get the truck inspected. But I would figure the shape this truck is in, the way it runs, I don't know all the state's inspection laws, but I'd be willing to bet this baby probably, most likely, would pass any state's inspection. It is that nice. All right, we're going to take it for a ride, and then we'll take a walk around it out in the sun. Thanks. Alrighty, folks, we're going to take it for a spin now. But what I'd like to point out is the vehicle is stopped now, and the reason I did this is because we already started it with it ice cold. Now we're going to start it with the engine warm. Very important whether you buy a car from me or not, you always want to see older used cars start warm and start cold, because you never know what's going to show up depending upon the temperature of the motor. But this one, I don't have any problems with. As you can see, it starts right up. I don't know if I pointed this out before or not. Absolutely no warning lights on in the dash, no check engine lights, none of that annoying crap. It is a 4-speed automatic overdrive, electronic. It's got the little button on the end of the stalk here that you can turn it on and off if you want. And right now we're in 2-wheel drive, and we're going to go. Smooth shifts. And there we are, 4th gear, 55 miles an hour, no problem. I would not be afraid at this particular moment to drive this truck anywhere in this country. Let hands off the wheel, tracks perfectly straight down the road. See, both hands, not touching. I'm still not touching. I'm just driving straight. I mean, I literally would not be afraid to pack this truck up and drive it to California from New Jersey here. That's how good I think this vehicle actually is. And trust me when I tell you, I don't say that about every single vehicle. All right, we'll do a little turn around here. We'll go back, we'll do a little brake test, we'll do a little 4-wheel drive check, and then take a walk around the outside. Don't want to run this lady over. Let's see if I can get turned around here. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to back up. Not like the tiniest turning radius in the world. Oh, and I just screwed this guy good. So here we go. All right, and back. Now, one thing I am going to do for you guys as we're driving along, let me get it up, to speed, up to like 45, 50. I will demonstrate, and I'll only do it for a short period of time, is I'm going to throw it into 4-wheel drive. There it is. It just locked in. We're in 4x4 high right now. I'm going to put it back in 4-wheel drive low, or 4x2, because you do not want to ever drive on dry pavement in four-wheel drive. Only all-wheel drive. This truck doesn't have all-wheel drive, it just has 4x4. Okay, gonna do a brake test now. What that consists of is very simple. I'm gonna pull into this vacant lot, across the street from my place, take my hands off the wheel and slam on the brakes. And I'll describe what happens. But what you can do is you just watch the steering wheel and see what happens. All it basically will tell you is the brake balance, but I'll be able to describe what happens on the wheel. So here we go, hands off the wheel and awesome. Okay, wasn't sure, but something I heard that I don't know if you guys could hear, I could hear the anti-lock brake pump going, meaning this truck does indeed have anti-lock brakes, which in my opinion, besides airbags, is one of the greatest safety features ever invented. That's actually better than airbags in my opinion, because it helps keep you out of an accident rather than airbags that all they'll do is maybe save your life in an accident. But this truck has both, so you're good to go there. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do right now. All right, what I would recommend you do is listen up very carefully. Right now I'm on about, I would say maybe a 25-degree hill. I'm gonna step on the gas and you're gonna hear the rear tire spin, meaning we're in two-wheel drive, and then I'll show you how it works in four-wheel drive. So here we go, listen up. As you can see, I could barely even get going, all right? So I'm gonna back up a little bit, put it in 4 high, put it in drive, and now we'll do the same exact thing again, and watch. As you can see, it pulled us forwards, no problem. Now, of course, the next thing we'll do is check the 4 low. Not that anybody I know really has ever used 4 low, although this winter I probably did a couple times because it was a really bad winter. But most of the time, the only reason you ever want to use 4 low is if you're like really stuck in some really horrible conditions. But I like to offer something that works in every mode. So here we go. Now I can hear it clunk underneath, which it's supposed to do that. That tells you that the transfer case is now engaged in 4 low. And we're gonna do the same thing. No spinning of the tires, we're just gonna take off. And it'll probably shift through the top 4 gears, probably in like 50 feet. Here we go. There, it just shifted into 4th gear. That's one thing, it changes everything when you put it in 4 low. But you cannot do 4 low on the fly. You have to actually stop the vehicle, put it in neutral like I just did, and then take it out of 4 low. I heard it click, now it's in 4 high. Now we can go back down to gravel. I'll put it in 2-wheel drive. The only reason I don't want to drive straight through the shop is we've had, around the back of the shop, is we had a lot of rain lately, and I don't want to get the truck muddy. So now we're just going to go backwards. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a summary here. This is a 2002 Ford F-150 Supercrew 4x4. Like I said, very unique truck. If you need like a 5-6 passenger, this is actually a 6 passenger, I verified that. If you need a 6 passenger full-size pickup truck, this is the baby for you. As long as you're not hauling a lot of like stuff around, you know, in the bed, like, but if you need to tow like a camper or something, what a perfect vehicle for your family. Okay, there we go. We're gonna stop, and then like I said, I'm gonna take the camera off the tripod and we're gonna take it for a walk around outside, and you guys can get a better look at how nice this truck is out in the sunshine. Just bear with me while I get my fingers all in the way of the camera and everything. Here, we'll take it off the tripod. Sorry about that. All right, here, I just want you to show, again, no check engine lights. Does show that the door is ajar, meaning not that the door is ajar, it just means it's open. Okay, and let's step outside. Oh, it's chilly out today. It looks beautiful, but it's actually cold. I'm really looking forward to summer coming this year. It's been a brutal winter. There you have it, folks. F-150, 4x4, good tires, nice running boards. Got better, it's an XLT model also, which means it's got all that equipment. It's got the 5.4 liter V8. And as you can see, it is just a sharp, nice looking truck. And for the money I'm going to be selling it for, wow, what a deal. So if you're looking for a full-size 6-passenger F-150 4x4 that is reliable, I've done a lot of work to it to make it a really great running truck, and the price, believe me, is going to be right on point. So as I always do, I hope this goes to a really good home. Thanks.